This is 2 Samuel chapter 7, and it's starting at verse 12. And when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels. I will establish his kingdom.
So this is the prophet talking to King David. Right. When he says sleep with his fathers, that means when he dies. So when you died, that was a saying that he said you sleep with your fathers. Alright, so you can understand that.
Right. And notice it said, I'm gonna, alright. This is verse, he said, I'm gonna read it one more time. I will set up thy seed after thee, showing that the seed is not talking about, it's talking about a woman. It's talking about King David's seed after him is King Solomon. Okay? The man has the seed. Right. Okay? Right. Verse 13. He shall build an house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. Verse 14. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men. So it said if King Solomon committed any kind of iniquities, he was going to get, it says, I'll just read it like this. If King Solomon commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men, right?
So when did Solomon ever get beat like that? Solomon never got beat with the stripes of men. Solomon died peacefully. Now according to prophecy, he's supposed to be beat with the stripes of men because he transgressed.
About his child, it's saying something about his children.
Exactly.
So his children got those stripes, not him.
YAHAWASHI was him.
Because we're still talking about.
We're talking about King David. King David's son, Solomon. So the prophet talked to King David and said that your son is going to be raised up after you. His throne is going to be established forever. If he transgresses, I'm going to beat him with the rod of men, but I'm not going to take my mercy away from him completely. He was chastened at YAHAWASHI. He wasn't chastened at Solomon. He died peaceful at Solomon. And then the kingdom was split after him. But he died peacefully. Now according to the prophet, he was supposed to be beat with the rod of men. But he died peacefully. So him being beaten with the rod of men was YAHAWASHI, the one that they called Jesus. So that's why it was Solomon. Because it said it was nobody else that was going to be on the throne as wise as King Solomon.
This is Isaiah chapter 55 and 11. So shall my word be that go forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it.
So if the Lord said that was going to go down, it was going to go down. The thing about the Most High is that he's not always the type to come in the way you expect him to come. Because according to this, Solomon was supposed to be beat with the rod of men, and he died peacefully. Now, through a carnal, you think that, so what is the Lord saying? But if you see spiritually, him as YAHAWASHI, he came to rebuild a third temple. Man.
Yo, if you look at that scripture,
this is 1 Chronicles 28, verse 6. And he said unto me, Solomon, thy son, he shall build my house and my courts, for I have chosen him to be my son, and I will be his father. Moreover, I will establish his kingdom forever, if he be constant to do my commandments and my judgments as at this day.
Now the scripture just said that he shall establish his kingdom forever, right? Other than King Solomon, the only other person to have that promise is the one they ignorantly called Jesus Christ. But we just read the Lord's not a liar. So that means there's going to be two kingdoms playing, you know, forever. Side by side forever? No. It said, the scripture said, I shall establish his kingdom, talking to King Solomon, forever. You get what I'm saying?
So that's it.
No, but think about the gravity of what I just said. King Solomon's kingdom was supposed to be established forever.
And it was through Jesus.
Exactly. YAHAWASHI. So when he reincarnated as Jesus, because like I said, King Solomon built the first temple, which was physical. Then he came back again as Jesus now, and Yahawashi, you know the name, I'm glad. When he came back as Yahawashi, now he's building the spiritual temple, which is what? The elect of the nation of Israel. It's people.
That's what they mean when they say the 144,000?
Right, 12,000 men out of each tribe.
And then the innumerable multitude,
right,
which is men, women, and children that believe.
Oh, I was right there.
Happy, y'all, bro.
All right, man.
Hey, listen to this.
This is Hebrews chapter 7, verse 26. For such an high priest became us, who is holy, harmless, undefiled, separate from sinners, and made higher than the heavens, who needeth not daily, as those high priests, to offer up a sacrifice for his own sins, and then for the people's. For this he did once when he offered up himself.
So he killed, in essence, he killed two birds with one stone.
Wait, before you read that, can I ask you one question?
This is a lot of
when Yahawashi walks the earth, did he sin one time? Okay.
It's a lot of strong meat. That's why I'm trying to tread carefully.
Hebrews 7, verse 26.
I'm saying it's a lot of strong meat.
For such an high priest became us, who is holy, harmless, undefiled, separate from sinners, and made higher than the heavens, who needeth not daily, as those high priests, to offer up sacrifice for his own sins, and then for the people's. For this he did once when he offered up himself.
So the high priests in our old traditions, they had to do that daily. The Lord did that once and for all for the nation to establish the second covenant.
So that's the deception with what they call Jesus.
But the thing is, he offered up a sacrifice for his own sins as well. So when he was on the scene as Yahawashi, he never sinned. So why did he offer up the sacrifice for when he went off when he was
King Solomon? Because remember the scripture says, if he commits iniquity, he shall be beaten by the children of men. And did that not happen to when he was here as Yahawashi? He got beat. The Romans beat his ass, man. They bruised him, man.
And then
Solomon went on from the women.
And that's the iniquity that Yahawashi. That's the iniquity that
he had to pay for himself and for the nation of Israel.
That's why he offered up a sacrifice, one for himself and one for the nation.
Yo, what you gotta understand, the Most High is so bad with it. You'll do something, he won't even jack you up now. He'll jack you up in your next life. He'll make you born with like herbal palsy or something. That's a judgment from the Most High, man.
Somebody get
I get what this scripture. This is Isaiah chapter 45 and 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
You telling me I'm alright?
You're alright.
Tell me that I'm alright.
But there's a disclaimer.
In the long run.
The fight is not over. So you're alright in the overall view, like you said, in the overall view, you're alright. But do you want to make it on the first resurrection or the second? Because destruction is coming, and just like we told you before.
I want to go through the destruction.
Exactly. So
call a lawyer, how about
So what you have to do is you have to come back to your heritage, which means you already had a seed of faith. We can tell by what you're able to receive. But now your faith has to be converted into works, meaning that you have to start rehearsing the righteous acts.
This is going to all repentance. Make your body a living sacrifice. Start out here.
It starts out right here.
But you know what? Really, it starts here. It starts here because you have to be convinced in your own mind first. So these are things you have to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, do I believe this? You got to count the cost before you get in this. Before you get in this and be a fellow laborer, you got to count the cost of what you're doing. It says when you come in this, prepare yourself for temptation. Because we're not telling you that you're going to come in this and everything is going to be great.
We'll tell you this. I got temptation.
And don't we all, man? We all sons of Jacob, man. So we want the same things, man. We all out here men. We We all desire the same thing.
I'm not perfect.
We're not, bro. We're not evil, man. We're not evil. We're not in here. We're not preaching for you to be perfect. We're preaching you to be sincere and have faith in the Lord.
So that works the same practice.
Exactly. We're in practice right now. That's why the Lord died. So when you made a mistake, it's already covered. Don't even worry about it if you're sincere. Now, if you just, like the Christians, they just believe in the Lord and they do whatever the hell they want to do, and they're not sincere because the Lord wants us to be perfect.
Not sincere,
which means they actually don't believe in the Lord.
Good. 2 precepts. Thank you,
You got it,
This is 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 21. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than after they have known it to turn from the holy commandments delivered unto them.
So you're being, the holy commandments being delivered unto you right now. Now you hear it, you have the faith right now. But if you don't see this all the way through, it would have been better if you just walked past us in the first place and not even stop. That's how dangerous it is coming in this. Now it doesn't look like much because we just some so-called Negroes on the corner talking about the Lord. But it's gonna be performed in that day. Now wherever you stand at, the Lord gonna lead you there. So it's like what the brother brought out beautifully is once you hear this and you turn back, if you turn back, it would have been better that you not even know this at all. So you got to take it very deadly serious.
I know to back you up on that.
You got it. This is hold up.
That's your question.
Go ahead.
How do you pray?
To me,
Because I mean that's
so
you gotta
what
communicate with God and just really get this. How do you pray?
So we're gonna tell you how the Lord told us to pray first. Now, exactly. But you're supposed to be facing the east with your hands spread. You're supposed to face the east with your hands open palms. Facing the east because the east is where our homeland is. That's where Jerusalem is. So you get on your knees and you pray to the Lord. Now the Lord gave us our Father's prayer, which is an overall, it covers all bases of what you're supposed to be asking for. Now you can talk to the Lord personally as a man to man, so to speak, meaning that don't use repetition just because it says this, you go in there and say that. Make a prayer about relationship. Exactly. You're a son of the Lord, so that means that you speak to the Lord like you would. Exactly. You got it, right?
This is Matthew chapter 6, verse 5. And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in synagogues and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. But when ye pray, use not vain repetitions as the heathen do.
Right.
For they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking.
Yeah.
But what it doesn't say is face to face.
That's Ezekiel 8 and 15.
Yeah, I ain't trying to.
No, you good. You good.
That's what we here for.
Prove all things. You're right.
So, okay, like you said, face the east. That's something from what I know.
Well, they face Mecca. So they face what they call Mecca, which is, it could be the east from this position, it could be any position. We're telling you to face it from the east now because we're supposed to face Jerusalem. When we were in the land, we were supposed to face the temple. You get what I'm saying? So, you know is that east? That's east?
That's what I think.
Yeah, that's east. That's east.
You know so.
No, we facing east. No, east is this way.
That's spiritual in itself.
Because if you jump on the I-4,
east is this way. That goes to the ocean.
Yeah, that is east. East is this way. Because if you take Orange Avenue, that's South Orange down there, and then you go this way, that's North Orange.
It's east because 50 runs.
I-4 says that, but it's really running north to south. It's because the west, when you drive west on the I-4, it leaves you in Tampa, which is the west side of Florida. That's why it does that. And then the north side of I-4 leads you off in Daytona, which is the east side. But it's really running north to south.
This is Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 16. And he brought me into the inner court of the Lord's house, and behold, at the door of the temple of the Lord, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men, with their backs towards the temple of the Lord, and their faces toward the east, and they worship the sun toward the east.
But they were in the land of Israel. That's the point. They had their back to the temple. Yeah, so when you were in Israel, you facing the temple. They turned their back to face the east because they were going towards the sun. They were praying to the sun. So this is 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 29. That thine eyes may be open toward this house night and day, even toward the place of which thou hast said, my name shall be there, that thou mayest hearken unto the prayer which thy servant shall make toward this place. And hearken thou to the supplication of thy servant and of thy people Israel, when they shall pray towards this place, and hear thou in heaven thy dwelling place, and when thou hearest, forgive. Now, he was blessing the temple. So he was saying that if your people Israel pray towards this place, hearken unto them. So this is what we get praying to the east, because the Lord granted this prayer that Solomon made. When he blessed, when the temple was completed, this is what Solomon was saying to the Lord. He was saying,
because the temple was where the Lord lived.
Exactly. You get it. You get it.
One other thing. Remember? When they prayed that, I can't remember off the top. Repetition.
Oh, don't let your vain repetition, because
they keep constantly asking for something over and over and over again.
That's where you get the word repeat from.
Things that really don't have no meaning, you know?
Vain, like, it's like, for instance, when we were talking about, and he came over here screaming Matthew 1, that's vain repetition. Because he brought that out for no reason. It had no substance to what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, they come out here, they sing, they dance, and they pray in the street. That's something between you and the Lord. You're supposed to have a relationship with the Most High, YAHAWASHI. You get what I'm saying? Between you and Him. A lot of these people do such things just to be seen of men. Just so people can walk. Literally, people do things just so people can walk by and say, oh, look at him, he's a righteous man. That man is out here praying, he's righteous. But that's why the Most High, but that's a proud spirit. The Most High said, go in your closet, close the doors, and get on your knees, man, and pray to him in secret, man.
We shouldn't pray together.
It's a humbling thing. I mean, brothers can pray together, but you know, for the most part, when you're home and you want to pray, you know what I'm saying, you go in your room, you know, you face east. Because why? It's a humble thing to do. It shows humility. It's very, thank you. It's a personal thing. I'm not supposed to know what you're going through that you have to pray for. You get what I'm saying? If you want to confide it in a brother, you guys, you know, pray together, so be it too. But the purpose of it is not to be, you know, to be seen of men, you know.
Alright, bro.
That's really what it is. You know what I'm saying? We out here, you notice we don't have no offering buckets. You know, it's not about money. It's not about that. This is not a gimmick. What we teaching is the truth in YAHAWASHI, and we're also speaking about the prophecies that are things to come, that are going to come, man. The RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, wars, rumors of wars, famine, death and pestilence. These are the things that are coming to America, man. You're seeing it right now in Central America, in Venezuela. It's coming up. Cannibalism is coming back to America. It's coming to America, man. It's coming here. This place is going to get ultimately destroyed by thermonuclear destruction, man. Ironically, this is the same country that dropped 2 atomic bombs on Japan. And then they tell the rest of the world, you can't build bombs because you're going to use them. That's hypocrisy in itself. It's hypocrisy in itself. This is the only country that dropped them and used them on people. But they're the same ones running around like they're scared that it's going to be used on them. You know what I'm saying?
I said something. God said, God the Lord. God said,
I wanted to get one scripture for you though, because like the brother was bringing out that you came up here. This is Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 9. A man's heart deceiveth his way, but the Lord directed his steps, man. And that's why when he got out that precept talking about if basically not, if you it was better off you walking by this thing, that's because the Most High directed you to walk here this day to hear this truth. He ordained for you to be here right now. So really it started from, if you really come into this full-fledged, it was ordained for you to be in this truth since the beginning of time, man. That's how heavy this is. That's how heavy this is. Go ahead. Right. And we're not saying we are the elect men, but the Most High directed the steps for you to come and hear this word today. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I found it.
This is Job chapter 33, verse 15. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and the slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instructions, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. He keepeth back his soul from the pit and his life from perishing by the sword.
Right. So when you understand what was just read, it says while men slept, you sleep every night or whenever you sleep, right? So that purpose is talking about what you're gonna do that next day. So right, which cuts that freedom of that free will doctrine. Which that Christian doctrine is that do as thou wilt doctrine. The laws are done away with.
I didn't sleep. I hear it's all to sleep. I didn't sleep. Right. Seriously. And like you came, when y'all came, I was talking to somebody.
Yeah, I was sitting there listening to you.
Yeah, right. We heard the conversation. We spoke about you, but it was a matter of time before the Lord set it up where you introduced yourself to Him and set it up where. But at the end of the day, man, you judge a man by the fruits of his labor. And really and truly, I think what you've seen was the fact that everything those dudes are out there saying, those Christians, it was no scripture behind it. All they did was vain repetition, over and over and over and over again, right? But you see here, we coming out of the scriptures, word for verbatim of the Most High.
All they could do was say that.
Right. They couldn't pull it, show it, and explain it. Right.
Precept for that too.
Right, and that's why I brought out Daniel's 12 and 10. The wicked shall not understand, but the wise shall understand.
This is Matthew chapter 7, starting at verse 6. I mean, Salaki, this is Mark chapter 7, verse 6. And he answered and said unto them, well have Isaiah prophesied of you hypocrites, as it is written, these people honor me with their lips, but their heart far from me. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrine the commandments of men. For laying aside the commandment of God, ye hold a tradition of men as the washing of pots and cups, and many other such things ye do.
Right. He's about to get it.
They were talking all.
Right. They were.
I mean, that thing just messed up so bad.
But when you understand what it says that they worshipped him in vain, is because they really believe that the one that they call Jesus Christ, first and foremost, we already established that he's a so-called dark-skinned man from the tribe of Judah. But they really believe he's coming back for them too. He's only coming back for the elected nation of Israel, man. But they, go ahead.
He said,
right.
He sold the copy with
tears.
He was rejected.
Go ahead.
Bring that shit out. Bring that out. You gotta bring that out. You gotta bring that out.
I was telling you to go ahead.
Getting to Genesis 27, it says he cried an exceedingly bitter cry.
Say it again?
It's this way. Because he coming for these, right?
No, all 12 tribes, brother.
So he coming for the whole family.
So Benjamin is not just.
Benjamin is not the Caucasians. The Caucasians are Esau. They're the Edomites.
Yeah.
These are the sons of Jacob.
So this,
All of these are the sons of Jacob.
that's sons of Jacob. So it's 12 tribes in Esau too?
No, there's 5. And they don't call them tribes, they call dukes.
Dukes of Esau.
Right.
Dukes of Edom.
And it's that's spiritual because they still call themselves that shit today. They like calling themselves dukes.
The Dukes of Hazzard.
Duke, you fucking faggots.
That is what they are. The Dukes of
This
Hazzard.
is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. Least there be any fornicator or profane person of Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For you know how afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears.
So that's a cut on the whole world being saved, because clearly the Lord said that he had no place of repentance. When you read Obadiah, it says that his whole house is going to be destroyed. There shall none be remaining in the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it. Now, if that's true, how can the whole world be saved?
Obadiah, verse 18.
There it is.
And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau. For the Lord has spoken.
Now the Lord speaking genocide on the nation of people. Yeah. That's the Lord of the Bible. The one that the Christianity teaches, that's a stumbling block. This is the real one.
Look at
He said it and that settles it.
Exactly.
Man, I'm sorry, can I say
That's
this?
the spirit.
Can I say this?
He said it, that settles it.
Listen. Man, when you grew up in the Christian church, you were taught that sweet Jesus, this Caucasian, feminine man with long hair, man.
Yeah.
Like, I thought Jesus was coming back with roses and hugs. Like when I was young and I was of this world, that's what I thought. Until I had the Lord had where brothers broke the scriptures to me, and I started to realize that wait a minute, this is his father flooded the earth, man. He flooded the earth. He had angels destroying people. He killed the firstborn sons of the Egyptians, man.
Yeah.
Wait, this ain't a sweet man. This is an angry man. You get what I'm saying?
Bring out your precept, Bob.
This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace but a sword.
So that's why it behooves you to get it together. Yeah. Pick your pen up, bro. It's all good. I don't even want it.
Man,
But real talk, every brother done went through what you're going through right now. The initial baptism, man. When the word actually hit you and you understand that this is who you're dealing with. When that hits you, yeah, you're gonna drop a pin and you might leave it there. Because that's the fear of YAHAWASHI coming back into you. So it's a beautiful thing, but at the same time, yeah, exactly. The scriptures talk about how when you first hear the word, it's sweet, but when it's in your stomach, it's bitter. Because it's sweet to know that Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, although they have been beaten down, they're the children of the Lord. They're kings and priests. But the bitter part is that you gotta wait for that kingdom, and you gotta fight temptation in your flesh and wait for the day of judgment. And have faith that the Lord will deliver you, man. Yeah. That's spiritual in itself. Go ahead.
Ezekiel chapter 3, start at verse 2. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with the roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. And he said unto me, Son of man, go, get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them. For thou art not sent to a people of strange speech, and of a hard language, but to the house of Israel.
Yeah. Not
to many people of a strange speech, and of an hard language, whose words thou cannot understand. Surely have I sent thee to them, they will have heard unto thee, but the house of they will have hearkened unto thee, but the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, but they will not hearken unto thee. For all the house of Israel are imputed and hard-headed.
So the words are sweet in thy mouth, but in the stomach it's bitter. It's bitter because you have to go through this. We're already in a tough predicament, but it's gonna get tougher. So we're put out here to tell you that the sweet part is that we're kings and priests under the Lord, and when he comes back, that reward will be given unto us and made manifest in the flesh. Right now we're servants under our oppression, under Esau. But the prophecy is that we're going to overcome this oppression and be placed on top through the Lord. And so that's why it's bittersweet. Like you said, you just said that in the scripture. That's a spiritual thing in itself.
This is Ecclesiastes. Listen,
hold your peace, man. Hold your peace. Hold your peace.
It's Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Like I say, coming into this truth, man, it's gonna be heavy knowing that your slave masters are still oppressing you, and we physically can't do anything about it, man. That's a very belittling thing, man. To know that you're powerless. You don't own any militaries. You don't have tanks, missiles, but you know that. But also to know that the Lord is gonna come back and do it. But that's why the Most High is so cold with it, because not even the YAHAWASHI knows the hour, man. Everybody's waiting. Everybody, and that's the bittersweet as well. That anxiety, being anxious about it. But you still gotta sit here and fight, right? And then going, one more question, one more precept too. Going into how the brother said that we out here to teach, right? Because it's gonna get worse. This is Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. Fear of the Lord is his treasure, man.
So it's a bittersweet thing, man, but if you don't go through the bitter, you're not going to get to the sweet. The Lord also explains that to us. That in order for you to receive, like you see Jay-Z and LeBron and all of them, they have glory here, but it's temporary. The Lord is promising the first fruits to have glory that's everlasting. But in order to receive that, you have to go through the bitter. Because once you start following after YAHAWASHI, things are going to start happening. It's going to be a test of your faith.
It's Revelation chapter 10, verse 10. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up. And it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter.
Exactly. Because that's the bitter part. When you find out that destruction coming, famine coming, it's beautiful because the judgment is going to happen. But it's bitter too because you still have to have hope and faith. You have to go through this world and patiently wait for YAHAWASHI to give you the kingdom. But in Edris, it tells you that if you don't go through the narrow, you can't get the wide. So in order for us to get our crowns back, we got to work for it. And it makes sense. That sounds like a righteous power.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm going to tell you straight up how I feel about it. All that is what it is. What hurts the most? How much I believed all of this stuff.
I know. Yeah, I know.
I mean, until I started talking to this man about,
it's all good, bro. It's all good, bro. Bro, we done went through it, man. We know exactly what you're going through. We still going through it. That's a fact. Yeah, man.
Every weekend, bro. This all we got, right?
We inherited lies, bro. We inherited lies. We were lied to. They told, but see, that's the snare. Ever since we were children, they were telling us we wasn't shit, man. But in Hosea 1:10 it says that in a place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall be said, you are the sons of the living God. That's an exclusive title. That's not an inclusive title. Yeah.
I just not noticed that.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is preached though.
This is Micah chapter 2 verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction.
So getting into this society and trying to succeed and climb up the ladder is going to destroy you. Whether you know it or not, it's going to destroy you because everything here is of wickedness. In order for you to prosper, you got to be wicked. Wisdom and integrity does not prosper in this place. That's why I said a gift destroys the heart, because you have some of our people who look successful, and because they're successful, they say, look, man, we can all just get along, everything is cool. Y'all just, the preachers that's in the church, Mega churches with millions of dollars, they tell you to chill. It's all good. If you pray and put some money in the bucket, the Lord will bless you with a car.
We're ultimately talking about patience, if you understand.
But the Lord is telling us that it's not about prosperity on this side.
Right. Yeah, it's about
the ways of this world, is to teach you it's death, which is why you got to come out of this place. Sacrificing and denying yourself is the only way to be able to be righteous and patiently wait for YAHAWASHI. Right. Getting involved with this world is going to destroy you. And that's why the brother brought that out beautifully, to come out of her. It's not saying literally leave America. It's saying get your mind out of this place. Put your mind back into your heritage and wait for the Lord to deliver on his promise.
Back you up.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 24. But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation.
Exactly. And that's because you have to defile yourself to become successful here, man. Yeah. You have to defile yourself. You done heard about the Illuminati. You done heard about all the things that they say the rappers got to do to be successful.
There's no righteous rich people.
Exactly. Well, now being rich,
righteous.
Exactly. But I'll say this as a disclaimer. It's not the money itself, it's the love of money. The love of the money defiles you. Because your desire to have a tangible blessing right now is going to cause you to destroy yourself, because Esau, exactly, Esau's wicked, he's profane, meaning he's outside the temple. So in order for you to be successful, you have to be outside the temple as well, which is why they have to go through all these rituals to be successful. All of the homosexual acts and the sacrifices and all of that really go back to pagan gods. What Esau's done in this day and age is he's taken away the physical appearance of a god and just giving you the philosophy of that god. So the temple whores, go ahead.
So they had, like, because holidays,
they go back to pagan.
They worship.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Easter.
a lot of gods. So who was the real? Well,
Exactly. But see, that's the snare onto our people, because our people always desire a God that they could see, because that's what the nations had.
We asked for a God. We asked for a king.
That happened too.
Right.
You
gotta understand is these laws. When you read the book of Joshua, right, and the Lord was dealing with us, there was not one single nation that could touch us, man. So what Esau knows, that if he can take the Most High's laws from us, which gives us power, we'll be easily defeated, man. That's our strength, man. Because through following those laws, we're giving complete honor and glory to YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, man. Because through following those laws, we'll treat our brothers better. We'll treat our women better. We'll raise our kids correctly. We'll eat properly, which will make us healthier, more physically fit. The earth wouldn't be dying. You get what I'm saying? There's so many things that come with keeping the laws that you can't even fathom, man.
So living in the spirit of God allows you to do all that.
Bring this one out, brother. You keep talking about it.
Right.
Because right.
I mean, I'm trying to, like,
the way I'm trying to understand.
It's related to
right. So
what I know.
The reason why I'm kind of reluctant, because I'm trying to. What do you mean by that? The spirit, living through the spirit.
I mean, living in God.
Right. And how you
embodying God in yourself,
which is keeping the laws. Right.
Like basically, like when you get into the spirit, you also get into other things. Right. So you start learning about how to use different herbs to heal yourself. You start learning how to eat properly. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what happens when you take on wisdom. Because wisdom is the beginning, the principal thing is the beginning of everything. So once you start to take on wisdom, it starts to open your mind up to other things. How to eat right, how to live better, how to take care of yourself, amongst other things as well.
That's right. And treat your brothers, black on black, so-called black on black crime. Why is that such a thing in our neighborhoods? Because we don't know how to treat our brothers, man. And that's in the curses, man. That's one of the curses.
They set it up like that.
But the Lord set it up like that. He cursed, he put a curse on it.
I got a precept to go with what Rocky had brought out. It's Jeremiah 51 and 6. It say, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense.
So the Lord is all about revenge, man. And if you're not walking in his light, then you on the other side, man. You are opt to the Lord, man. Jake love to talk about ops. Well, if you're not walking with YAHAWASHI, you are walking up, man. And the Lord is ready to take vengeance, man. The Lord is the true rider on his enemies, man. The Lord is about to unleash holy hell, and it's a dishonorable thing to be cut off like a heathen, man. Especially if you're of the nation of Israel. That's a dishonorable thing that the Lord got to chop you down like the heathens, man. You got to receive a judgment like the people that oppressed you and put you to death, man. You got to fall right with them instead of being able to enjoy and rejoice at the revenge. The Lord is doing things, and if you in the spirit, you're able to watch and see that the Lord is starting to take this kingdom down, man. That he's about to start bringing judgment, man. Death is about to come, man. But people aren't privy to death until it's on their ass, man. Nobody's privy to death until it's on your doorstep, man. Until it's touching everybody except you. Nobody's privy to death. But we're out here to warn our people that you have an opportunity not to fall like the heathen, man. To be dishonorably discharged, man. Because grievous deaths are being assigned to the people that walk this planet, man. Because they walk in great pride, man. And pride is hateful among men, and most importantly, it's hateful amongst the Lord, man. All the laughing and game plan gonna come to an end. The Lord says it's gonna be dead bodies like dung on the like shit on the ground, man. That you're not even gonna have time to mourn for the death of some your family member, because you're gonna be worried about your own ass, man. Come.
It's Jeremiah chapter 16, and I'll start at verse 4. They shall die of grievous deaths. They shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth, and they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the earth.
So that means the Lord is gonna turn all these walking zombies into bird food, man. And animal food, man. And it's well deserved, man, because these people walk in great pride, man. And they shun the words of YAHAWASHI. And Peter it tell you they speak evil of things they do not understand, man. They don't understand what the Spirit is doing, and because they're not spiritual though, man. It says that the carnal man can't understand the things of spiritual because they're spiritually discerned, man. Chiefly our people, man. You got something up?
I just want to say, I want to bring out
go ahead.
Jeremiah 16, because I got precept in Leviticus and Deuteronomy to back up Jeremiah 16.
Come close so the camera can hear you.
This Jeremiah 16, verse 14. Masalaki, verse 15. Masalaki, Jeremiah 16, verse 16.
Hold on. You don't believe in Jesus, right? Yes. Because tonight is Easter. You mustn't stay here.
What does Easter have to do with Jesus? What does Easter have to do with Jesus? You don't know nothing, man. You don't know a thing, man.
Man, Cortez got you Mexicans gassed up.
Yeah, man.
He did y'all dirty, man.
She tapped him real fast.
Yeah, man.
Jeremiah chapter 16.
Believing in their oppressor, man.
Verse 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. For my eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from my eyes. Right? So to back that up, this is Deuteronomy 32, verse 30. Right? Deuteronomy 32, verse 30. How shall one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight, except their rock have sold them and the Lord have shut them up? Right? Now this Leviticus 26 and 5. I'm start at Leviticus 26:7. And ye shall chase your enemies. Read that again. Leviticus 26:7. And ye shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword. And 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 in flight, and your enemy shall fall by you by the sword.
So when the Lord starts making this thing happen, right now we fishing for men. But in that day, the word is going to be cut off, and it's going to be cut off in the land, and it's going to be performed, man. The Lord ain't going to be out here stretching out and extending his hand for mercy. And the people who are following the Lord right now in truth and sincerity are going to be turned into hunters. You heard the precept. He said, one shall chase 100.
One shall chase 100, and 2 shall put 10,000 in flight.
Well, right now, like you just, and that's beautiful because when you were reading that, he asked me. That was beautiful because the brother just asked me while the brother brought that precept out, is this the sword? Now, right here, this is the sword right here. But in that day, when the Lord puts that spirit in us, according to Ezekiel 25:12, we're gonna have physical swords in our hand. And a sword doesn't just mean a sword, like, you know, a samurai sword. A sword is an instrument of death. So it can be our hands, it can be a gun. Whatever we choose to use in that time is what we will use to exact that vengeance, right? I got precept. It's 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 11. And they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was offered unto them, understood not, but despised it, the same must know it after death by pain.
Yeah, so the sinners of our people are going to fall by the sword, man. The sinners of our people are going to die grievous deaths because not only do they not know the word of the Lord, but they despise it, man. They despise order, man. And this blessing was given unto our people, and they despise it, man. That's the spirit of Esau, man. To despise your own inheritance, man. So they're going to be cut off like Esau. Not forever, but they're going to die a grievous death on this side, and then the Lord's going to bring them back through the loins of the people he saved, the nation of Israel that he saved. Those he saved are going to be bringing back the 2/3.
I always wondered. He said this is the word of God.
Right.
Word.
Nope.
So it is true. It's just misdirection.
Exactly.
Right? They
Doctrine, religion.
kind of pushed in a different direction than what it was supposed to be.
Romans 11.
So this is,
It was sealed.
Because what you and the book was sealed for a time.
yeah.
But the Lord is only calling back the elect. Oh, Matthew 13. The Lord is only calling back the elect right now.
What you want right now? What you want?
Let's get Matthew 13. Let's get
right now. 13 and 17.
Yeah, let's get Hamashiach himself.
Matthew 13, chapter 13, verse 17. For verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them.
Start at the beginning of Matthew 13. Okay. It said, speak to them in parables.
Okay.
And he, Matthew 13, verse 3. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seed fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Some fell upon stony places where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. Some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But others fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold.
Hold up right there. So that parable is about the word being preached and men understanding. And some get it, and for some reason, and he was giving different scenarios of it not taking root in them. But the ones that's taking root in, they're going to produce fruit. And fruit is not always people. Not Romans, but Paul talks about the fruits of the Spirit. So some of the fruit is involved with your own personal growth in this. And as you grow, people will see that, and more people will be gathered to the light. It says, let your light show forth before men. So as you grow in this truth, the fruits of the Spirit in you are going to be made manifest, and men of our nation coming back and understanding the truth. Now, continue on that one out, if you can.
Exactly what you said.
Verse 9. Who have ears to hear, let him hear. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? And he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given.
So the Lord is basically telling you that it was only given to a certain specific people to get this truth. Even 2/3 of our own people don't understand their own salvation. You got to understand that. The heathens are not going to get it, because the wicked shall not understand. But 2/3 of our own people aren't going to understand their own salvation. They're going to continue being here in love with nothing, man. They're going to be in love with the nothingness that is this kingdom until the Lord comes and destroys it. But for you, it's given to know the mysteries. Because right now, you're standing here and you can be doing anything on a Saturday night. Just like the brothers that surround you. So we're all walking the same journey of faith. We're all growing and having a personal development. That's why the Lord said it's going to bring forth fruit 50-fold, 60-fold. Because as you understand this truth, you start refining yourself, and the Lord starts refining you. You refine yourself by refraining from stuff that's displeasing to the Lord. Eating pork is displeasing to the Lord. Yeah. Shrimp is displeasing to the Lord. But these are things that destroys your body though. So it's not like the Lord just He's not just telling you to do something for the sake of telling you to do something to see if you're gonna believe him or not. It's actually beneficial to you. Pigs and shrimp, they're scavengers. They're meant to eat anything. They have digestive systems that are conducive to eating anything. When you take those enzymes into your body, it destroys your body. And this was before the science could even figure that out. The Lord had gave us this law.
Diabetes.
Yeah.
Parasites.
It's the reason we get the diseases we get as a people, because our diet is contrary to the diet that the Lord prescribed for us. You understand?
Yeah, catfish. You like catfish? You like catfish?
Do you love your life?
Dude, that's my favorite scripture. I mean, I ain't trying to be funny. That's my favorite scripture. Man, 100. It's a test, man.
This is Romans chapter 12, verse.
I'm here.
This is Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of YAHAWAH YAHAWASHI.
So you got to renew your mind, man. You have to. Part of renewing your mind is getting rid of old man. Because if you are a temple, if you are a brick in the spiritual house of the Lord, you're defiling yourself by putting pork in it. No, bro. I see you try to wiggle. No.
I said one thing.
Hey, but you know what it is, though?
But
you know what it is, though? You gotta understand that we were made to break these laws. For the simple fact is that when we got these laws at the time, we didn't understand why we wasn't supposed to. We didn't have the science that this is what the pork. We just knew the Most High said not to eat through pigs. But now the Lord made us to go off, because now it's time for us to understand these laws. And how you understand through experience, through trial and error. You get what I'm saying? So right now, you've been eating pork, smothered pork. It's something that you love, but the Most High is testing your faith towards Him now. You heard this word now. You know you ain't supposed to eat pork. What are you gonna do now? You trying to be that gold, that piece of gold that changes color in the 2 years or in a few months, or you trying to be that gold that's that 24 karat pure gold that's gold forever? Like, that's the point, man. The Most High is looking for pure gold, man. The pure gold. This is Luke chapter 9, verse 23. And he said unto them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. You know, a part of that cross is denying those things. Like pork, for instance. I tell you this I speak as a man, that's my person. I loved some shrimp, crab, and lobster. That was my thing. That was my thing. You get what I'm saying? But when I heard this, I fuck around and can't even touch a piece of shrimp, man. I'm so fucking definitely afraid of.
I had to have a real sound every Friday night.
Steak is lawful. Steak is lawful. It's lawful. That pork is disgusting.
Bro, I had to have a real sound every Friday night.
The life. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you like this. Everybody has their own demon.
Right.
That smothered pork chop might be your demon. Every brother has his own demon. No, but I'm saying. No.
Chocolate chip cookies. That's my favorite cookie.
Well, you're gonna have to start looking at the ingredients more carefully, because look, I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. This is the sacrifice you gotta make, man.
Right. Yeah, man.
Because you don't want to die like these people, man. They walking in the free before 11:30 and they gonna die the next thing you know, man.
I can't eat chocolate chip cookies.
You can eat chocolate chip cookies as long as it ain't got pork in it. All of them don't got pork in it. If not, you better get your cooking game up.
Hey man, can I ask you a question? You got children? You don't have kids, but when you lived with your father, right? When your father said, "Yo, what's your name?" I never even got your name. What? Ben. Your father said, "Ben, you know, I'll go to the store. I'll be right back, man. But when I get back, this got to be done by the time I get back, right?" But really and truly, though, your father never really said to you what time he was coming back. You just knew he was coming back. So it behooved you to get that shit done, because he might just pop the fuck up at any moment. That's the same thing with YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, man. None of us know the hour, man. So it should behoove you to get right ASAP, as soon as you know, fleshly can through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. Because he's coming in like a thief in the night. When a thief breaks into your house, he's creeping in the window. You ain't gonna hear him coming. You ain't gonna know that. You ain't gonna realize the thief is in your crib until the gun is in your face and he's saying, "Give me everything you got." Really, so really, truly, it should behoove you.
All right, I answer. So the message that we're telling Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans is that according to scriptures, prophecy, and history, they're not Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Dominicans. They're actually the children of Israel from their respective tribes. We're telling them to come back to their heritage, and simultaneously we're telling the other nations that the Lord is coming back to judge, that America is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction in this Third World War.
So it's a very religious point of view.
Well, it's the truth. You can call it what you want.
Well, it's religious, right? It's based on religion. Right?
It's not based on religion. It's based on prophecy.
Well, the tribes of Israel are religious, are they not?
They're an ethnic group of people. They come out of the loins.
An ethnic group of people.
They come out of the loins of Israel.
By a religious group, right?
They are they're not defined by a religious group.
Are they defined?
They're the seed of Israel.
Which is a religious definition given in
Israel was a man that
he was
lived.
a man before he was a place.
Okay, but it was a man who was talked about in a religious context.
Does that still? Yes, it was. It's historic.
A religious context is different. What's your historical?
You asked us our message. We answered.
No, I know, but you're different. You're discriminating in terms of like definitions, right?
How am I discriminating based on definitions? We're telling you based on the scriptures that this.
I know, and I said that that's a religious point of view, right?
That's not a religious point of view.
The scriptures are what defines it. So the scriptures are religion.
Are the scriptures religion?
Yes.
No, the scriptures are history, laws, and prophecies. Yeah.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Ask a history professor. Are the scriptures history? No, they're not.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, they are.
Who told you?
Who told you?
Was the Babylonian empire, was that historical or biblical?
Do you know the difference?
I asked you a question. I asked you a question. I asked you a question. I asked you a question.
Do you know the difference between primary and secondary?
I just asked you a question.
I just asked you a question.
And
I'll answer if you answer my question.
No, I asked you a question. Answer my question.
No, they did exist. Now let me ask my question. They did exist. Is there a difference between a primary and a secondary source document?
Yeah, one's primary, one's secondary.
Okay,
So
all right,
what's your
this is
point?
a secondary source document.
According to who?
According to even the people who wrote it.
Who wrote it?